Well, welcome everyone. I can't believe it's November. It just, where did time go? We just had an amazing week celebrating WikiTree's birthday, 17th birthday. This is the first member Q&A in November 2025. And I'm Betsy Ko. We've been doing these for 3 years, and they really have become a wonderful way for people to ask their questions and for us to screen share and talk about things, just sort of like we're sitting down next to each other at the same coffee shop table and looking at a screen together. That's what I enjoy about them. So I will let my other co-hosts who have, well, Denise is our newest co-host, but Denise has been coming faithfully to these sessions for quite a long time. So we'll go in clockwise order. Denise, you want to introduce yourself?
Certainly. Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Denise Jarrett. I've been a member of WikiTree since 2020. The pandemic, not the pandemic, but COVID gave me an opportunity to not drive into work. So I spent that time doing research and discovered WikiTree through a Roots Tech seminar that I saw on YouTube. Um, from that point on, I started just messing around, trying to break it because that's what I used to do in a past life. Just try to break code, break things to make sure links were working properly, and I clicked on just about everything. So I learned quite a bit about WikiTree over time, and frankly, I'm still learning something new every day.
Me too.
Yep.
Mhm.
Hi, I'm Murray Maloney. I'm retired. I used to work in the computer software industry and in the let's see, how would I describe it? The content creation field. Making content for the web and also for other kind of hypertext systems. And like Denise, I came to WikiTree when just before the pandemic started. And all of a sudden I had all this time and I wasn't going to be circulating with people. And I thought this is a great time to learn about this. And so I tried. And like many of you, that took a long time to try and learn how to use WikiTree. And then luckily I managed to find a couple of browser extensions. If you don't know what those are yet, you can ask later. Anyway, the browser extensions help make the whole thing easier. And so I'm a big promoter of the browser extensions. And lately, I've just been poking around. I look for people's questions on G2G and try to help out there. And I solved a couple of things yesterday. Yeah, so I just try and help out. And you know, like I said, I know how hard it is to get to learn this stuff, and so we're here to try and help you. Stephen, over to you.
Hi, I'm Steven. I'm a wiki nerd. I mean, I have been working on Stephen Greenwood. Been working on wikis for 20 years now, and WikiTree is just the next in line. But it is certainly captured a lot of my interest in the last 5 years. Yeah, I started at the same time as Denise. What a great time when nobody else is doing anything. I can't do anything, so I found another online community. But this one was really, to the core of my interest, is that I always had an interest in family history, and the ability to document it in an open source format was so enriching to me. And quickly I became a member of several projects, and I constantly tout, Germany project, Notables project, and I do work on quite a bit of those profiles. And I do focus on the ones I'm in Wisconsin here. A lot of Germans coming through Milwaukee, so that's where I'm at, and that tends to be a lot of my focus right now. But certainly, there is a large learning curve to the site, and I like helping people out with that. I want to make sure they can find what they need to find. There's little tips and tricks, again, like Denise was saying. We are constantly learning. There's always something new. So even if you've been here for 15 years, you're still finding something. Great. Yeah. So, hi, Ann. You want to join the conversation? When did you come to WikiTree, Ann?
Oh, I started in 2022,
Okay,
which is the same day that WikiTree was born, on November the 5th.
on
November
November
5th.
5th, the anniversary.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
yep, yep.
Was it WikiTree Day that got you in?
No, it was Roots Tech.
Okay.
Chris was on there and he was talking about it. And so I looked at it and I said, maybe I'll try because it's free. And so I said, oh, that was a magical word. And so I tried it and then I got too complicated and I said, nah. Then I looked at the honor code. I said, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know if I should do it or not. So I went away for a little while and then I came back.
And I gotta say, you are one of our biggest fans because you are usually at every one of these, and you're not a host, but you're usually here.
But but like everybody says, you learn something new every time.
Right, exactly.
There's always some tips or tricks for everybody to know.
Yeah.
Because like it's unbelievable. I love it.
And I'm glad it's still working out for you.
Yeah, no, it is. It's fun.
And
Ann's my homegirl.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Cleveland, go Browns.
Ohio.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Yeah.
Well, just to tag on to what Murray said about browser extensions. So as each of us may share our screens at different points tonight, you will see different things. I have taken all the extensions off of mine, well, except for Sorcerer. So you will, if you are a brand new or a pretty new member, hopefully my screen will look familiar to you. But on everybody else's screens, you'll see variations of the extensions that they prefer. And that's great because then you can see possibilities for how you might like to amp up your WikiTreeing.
And ease of use.
Yes.
As you get familiar with WikiTree and the different pieces of information you need to put in, different projects you can work on, and you'll learn other things that you can add, like the browser extensions and the sorcerer and things like that, that will make using WikiTree easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we found we were chatting before we started the recording, and Jerry has a question about representing a DNA match on WikiTree. And so, Jerry, would you mind asking your question again so everyone can hear it?
I was wondering how I can attach, thank you, Betsy. I was wondering how I can attach he's my cousin once removed. He's the father of a cousin that told me about him. And the cousin is living. So apparently, Murray said that I can put their initials
Right.
into the DNA, what's it called? Portal? I don't know what that thing's called.
Yeah. Well, let me show you.
Thank you. But I realized that I have to add his father, right?
Let me show you.
I just found that out.
So here are some DNA matches that I have with some cousins, okay? So I've said that there's I'm confirming that I have a maternal relationship because I've got a DNA match between me and my cousin EP. And he's a first cousin. And our most recent common ancestors are Petra and Dina. And then I go on to say, what the particular relationship is and then how much we share. So this is a big amount. And you can tell based on that amount that this is a fairly close relative. Okay. So then I continue on and I've got two other first cousins, SR and DP, and they happen to be sisters. And again, you see the relationship to Petra and Dina and 968 centimorgans and 939 centimorgans, right? So now I haven't named them. And none of them have a profile on WikiTree. but they do have a profile on Ancestry, and Ancestry is where I'm able to see that they're cousins. Now, the way things work on WikiTree is that we can do a DNA match with a cousin up to a third cousin just by referencing a match that we have with them on Ancestry or on FTDNA or on MyHeritage. Okay, we just need to talk about it and say that it's there, and basically the rest of WikiTree is going to look at that and say, okay, well, we're going to trust Murray. Murray says that he has a match with this cousin, so we're going to trust him. And if Murray comes into disrepute at some point, somebody might say, hey, Murray, you think maybe you could just show us that? Maybe you could just show us the match. Maybe just one or two people could see that and just to demonstrate that it's true. That's never happened to me, but I'm just saying, somebody might come along and say that, could you actually verify this for us? And so that might happen. I don't know. But in any case, so there's first cousins. Now then, I've got some second cousin. Well, I got a second cousin here. And the common ancestor are Philip and Lena. And so the cousin is BF. And again, I haven't named him, and he's not on WikiTree, so I don't have a link to him. And then I've got some more second cousins that are also related to the Tegova family, the Tego, and this is PN, who has a pseudonym in Ancestry. And I just mentioned that just so for clarification, in case somebody else from my family were coming to look at this and wondering, well, who the heck is PN? And I can say, well, he's got a pseudonym, and if you want, you can check with me. But their most recent common ancestors are the unknown parents of Lena and her brother Tone. And so we don't know what their parents' names are, except that it's Tegov. But we know that these two are brother and sister. Okay, based on documentation we found elsewhere. And similarly, here this one probably shouldn't be allowed. I got a 3C1R, so I should probably need a
Triangulation.
a triangulation here for this one. But let's move down to the to here to the fourth one, and you can see that I've got a third cousin and a 12 centimorgan match across one segment, and with the initial JK, and I mentioned that PN appears on the shared match list with JK. So PN, remember, from here up here, and then we got there. So see, I'm doing it all with initials, so I don't need to add them onto WikiTree, but unknown Tegov is on WikiTree, and they should be there, but they're not. I guess there we go. So there's Petra and Dina. So I put in the grandparents. These are my grandparents. That's my Baba, and she was born in Macedonia in the Ottoman Empire, and so I have matches with her, and like I said, we just use their initials, and we don't have to put them on WikiTree. And another important thing to note here is every living person has the right to decide for themselves whether they want to appear on WikiTree. So if you were to create a profile for a living person, you might be able to see that profile, but the rest of us won't. It'll be kept private, and you'll be given, you'll be sent a message saying, please invite this person to join WikiTree. And every time you go look at that person's profile, it'll remind you, please send this person an invitation to join WikiTree. And they won't be visible to anybody except for you, because you added them.
I wouldn't be comfortable with that unless the person said to do it. Yeah, I have to ask, and I don't think I'd be comfortable with adding that.
Yeah.
Because I don't really
Okay.
know a source. Well, the source would be your dad, I guess. But
Well, so the way that Murray got all of these statements about relationships was obviously, both parties took a DNA test, and then you used, am I right? You used Greg's DNA?
No, actually, I wrote these myself.
You wrote them yourself. Okay.
Yes.
But for the rest of us mere mortals.
Yes, most of us use Greg's app to create DNA confirmations, and especially when you get into more complicated ones, like when you're doing triangulations, etc., it's best to use Greg's app. Now, so let me talk a little bit about the triangulations and the more difficult ones. So, as you move up through your tree and you're trying to identify a common ancestor, if you live in an area where your ancestors were among the people who came to North America early, you are very likely to have several common ancestors with other people whose ancestors came to North America early. We notice that this is especially true in Quebec and Acadia and in parts of New England and in Louisiana. Okay. So,
It has a name.
yes, Stephen.
It's the bottleneck. There's the American and the Canadian bottlenecks. We've kind of determined everybody is sort of in the same place for what, a generation or two, right?
Well, yeah, well, more than a generation or two, right? You have to be around in the same place for a while,
Hmm.
and then you can have endogamy, so that's where cousins married cousins,
Right.
and so you've got multiple shared bloodlines. You've also got situations where you've got multiple. You have an ancestor up in you have two ancestors up in your tree, and somebody else has those same two ancestors up in their tree. Now, you might be fourth cousins, right? And if you focus on just the one set of ancestors that you have in common, you might not realize that this other pair exists over there. And so when you're doing that kind of DNA confirmation, you actually have to look back. You can't say with confidence that you got this DNA from these ancestors if you haven't filled out your tree across that level. Okay, so for people who have ancestors that were on the Mayflower, you have to fill out right across the top of your tree to the 1600s. If everybody isn't there, you can't know really that you're not sharing some other common ancestors through whom you might have got this DNA.
Let's a little over here, guys.
Sorry, what was that, Ann?
Very interesting. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So when Greg was working on the latest iteration of his tool, I was one of his test subjects, and I was working things through with him,
Big.
and I had one of these fourth cousin situations, and I used it to test his tool. Now, I discovered that there was one of these situations where we had multiple common ancestors for this match that I had created maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and his tool wasn't picking it up at first, but he kept working on it and kept going back further in the tree to check for that kind of situation. And then not only did he bump into the one that I had noticed, he found another one. So there were two good reasons why I shouldn't use this particular DNA confirmation. The one that I found and the separate one that he found separately. And so that when you get to doing the further back you go, you need to be more conscious of those situations, and the tool will help you do that.
And Murray, these confirmations statements, they're on your biography, correct?
This is in my profile, yes.
Okay.
And they also exist in well, let's see. I think I may have some of these in Petra and Dina's profiles. Yep, I do. So I put some confirmations into my Baba's profile to show that I have a connection through her to these 3 cousins.
Mhm.
And so that's going to nest within sources, right? It's a sub header underneath the sources.
Yes, underneath
Proper
sources,
place to put it.
and then you go down and you get to DNA confirmations.
Mhm.
Murray, up at the top of that page, if you scroll up,
Mhm.
we can see that in the blue box with the family relationships, some of
Yeah.
those have DNA check, a DNA
Mhm.
confirmed. And so
Yes.
when you're in edit mode, you'll see some different options for categorizing a relationship. It can be uncertain, it can be confident, it can be DNA confirmed. And
Yeah.
so
So
one thing to just make newer people aware of is if you are going to check DNA confirmed, you have to put a DNA confirmation statement.
yeah,
Yes.
see there's where I got one. So we've got one here for that's my mom,
Mhm.
and there's the father of one of the cousins, but this is the mother of 2 of the cousins, and we don't have that confirmed with DNA. So let's do that. Let's see. So we're going to go into edit family,
Okay, so you don't have
and we're
it
going to
checked, but you did do the confirmation on it then?
yep.
Okay.
So we're going to save that. Oh, there I even got a.
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't know it was there.
well, we do have a pre-check box.
Well, that's one I added because of WikiTree browser extension. So you can see that this profile looks different from yours, right?
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure
It's got
nobody
a lot of
else's looks like
bling.
this.
Yeah.
It's got bling. It's got colors, and it's got up here.
Yeah.
It's got this little thing here that says highlight WBE features, and if I click on that, it actually does some
Oh,
highlighting and shows different things that are
oh,
from WBE.
I
Mhm.
didn't
Okay.
know that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah.
so if I go under the find menu, for example, you can see that there's a number of them that are highlighted, and
Like the random.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
those ones come from WBE. Those are menu items that were added by WBE.
Oh, interesting.
Good to
Um,
know.
We have a
Yeah.
question from Amanda that maybe everybody can weigh in on. Would the see also section go before or after the DNA confirmation section?
It well it's part of the sources, so it goes so you'd have it after the sources. Sorry, after the where are we here? So there's no DNA confirmation in here, but you'd have a see also. For example, I could
Ah,
put a see also right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if it was a notable and there's a Wikipedia profile for them, the C also would go underneath the primary list of sources. But then that would all still be above the DNA confirmation as its own section or subsection.
Subsection. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Oh, oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yes, Anne.
yes. It's not about this. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Could somebody? There was a question in the chat about WikiTree Week. How long are those videos up on YouTube? Is
Yeah. I saw that. I was going to address that.
okay?
Only the symposium where we had our keynote speakers on Friday was 30 days, and I
Oh,
guess now 2 days have passed, so it's 28. Everything else will still be out there and available on YouTube.
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
good,
it's just
good,
the
good, good.
symposium, the keynote speakers that have a time
Oh,
limit.
okay,
And that's
okay, good.
because they're contractually obligated. They have
All right.
agreed, they're all professionals. And a lot of them, if not all of them, do this for a living. So they had a contract with WikiTree, an agreement to at least make it available for 30 days.
Okay, if it passed, should we get the handouts before it leaves, or will the handouts be available all the
Good
time?
question.
The handouts are on the space page that announced the symposium, and listed each of the speakers. And so those handouts are linked to the speakers on that space page. So they will still be available. It's just
Okay.
the videos that have a time limit.
Great. Okay, good. Thanks.
So how
Mhm.
do you find the space page, if you don't mind, Denise?
If you do WikiTree Symposium, I'll see if I can find it again.
Do you do it on
Um,
Google, or what do you do?
If I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Do you Google that, or how do you find it?
Yeah, you can just Google WikiTree Symposium and it will bring up the space page for the symposium.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I got a good question for something I just keep on forgetting. I don't know if it's called browser bookmarks. There's bookmarks in
Yes.
yeah, how do you find those bookmarks? Like if you got your favorites, like you bookmark your favorites, I don't know how to find it.
Bookmark your favorites.
I keep
Oh,
on
yeah,
forgetting.
yeah. I do that all the time when I hit a page that I want to keep and maintain. Um, I don't see it on Murray's page, but usually in the URL bar, you'll see a star. I can click on my star and that will save it to my bookmarks
In your browser.
on my browser. Yeah, but
Okay.
I use Chrome, so I'm not sure what are you
Yes.
using, Murray?
I'm on Safari on a
Oh,
Mac.
okay. Yeah, see, I use Chrome. So in Chrome, there's a little star on that URL bar,
Yes.
and you can click that star and it will save that page as a bookmark. And I've got mine sorted by category for the
Excuse
different
me.
for the
Sorry.
different projects and things.
I'm just talking about within the WikiTree, there's a,
Okay.
Yes.
like a tag, and I keep on forgetting where it is. If you,
Okay, right here. You see this?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's your extra watch list.
oh, okay.
So you click on that, and there's your extra watch list. So
I
you
don't
can.
know what an extra watch list is. I'm sorry about all the questions.
No,
Okay. So
that's why we're here.
Sure.
That
So-
was a good question for me.
so everybody gets a watch list, and it basically any profile that you're the profile manager of, or you're on the trusted list for, is in your watch list. Okay, that's your normal watch list. Now, there's also profiles that you're interested in, but you're not the profile manager, and you might not even want to ask to be on the trusted list. You just want to be able to observe it. And so, as you can see here, I've added a whole bunch of things to my watch list. So here is Pierre Lemoyne d'Iberville. So you may not realize who he is, but d'Iberville was born in Montreal, and then he fought. He was on quite a number of ships over the years. He found Alabama and Louisiana. His brother founded New Orleans, and so if you go to New Orleans, you'll find a street named d'Iberville. And what was his brother's? Just a second. I just got to look up. Oh, what did I
Yeah,
just
there's
do there?
also a parish in Louisiana.
Okay,
I didn't know it was pronounced Iberville. I was pronouncing it Iberville.
right.
Yeah, Iberville. Okay.
Well, sometimes pronunciations get
Oops.
adapted to the place where they are.
Mhm.
English version. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So d'Iberville, Pierre had a lot of siblings,
Mm-hmm.
and they were what's the word? They were lords. Okay, and so Charles was the lord of Longueuil, and Jacques was the lord of Saint Helene. Saint Helene is an island in the St. Lawrence River, in
Mhm.
between Montreal and Longueuil. And of course, then you've got d'Iberville, and you got Maricourt, oops, and Bienville. That's it. It was Bienville who is the founder of New Orleans. And anyway, so he's got all these siblings, and he's somebody that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
because he ranged from Hudson Bay all the way down to Cuba and Louisiana. Wow. And he fought battles, and this family is an amazing family. For the week, they'd go out for the weekend. They'd jump on their ship in Montreal and go all the way out to the East Coast and pick up their friends in Gaspé, and off they'd go on their ships.
We're going to Cuba.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's your
Thank
extra
you.
watch list, and you can have that for profiles and for space pages. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
And then
wow. Lovely.
your space, there's your space watch list. There's a separate button for that.
And again, ones that are not your own, because your watch list would show you your space pages.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Great.
fascinating about, they were all, I mean, because they all had the same last name. I didn't catch what the last name was, but all of the things that we recognize them as are actually what they were lords of. So we talk about Iberville. And that's one thing I didn't know about, I guess, French royalty or Canadian, French Canadian people. So I learned something about it.
It's not royalty. I can't remember the term. There's a term for that.
Baronets or something.
Yeah, no, they're at a level below
Nobility?
royalty, but nobility. That's it.
Oh,
Thank you. They're
nobility.
nobles.
Okay.
Yes, they are nobles. Thank you, Betsy, for that. So that's the Lemoyne family.
The Lemoyne family. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw Bienville on there too. That's another parish in Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah. I've got family from that one.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, and Iberville set up Mobile, Alabama. He set up the fort at Mobile.
Wow.
And they were really something. They brought people from Acadia, and then they brought more people from France. And you probably heard of the stories about the women. They brought women from Paris, or basically from various places in France, I guess, from various parts of France, and brought them back to Louisiana to marry the.
I have a tiny % of France in me.
I'm still learning.
Thank you. I've learned a lot. Go on to someone else. Thank you, Marie, so much. Thank you, everybody.
There's some stuff in the chat.
Yeah, Carla had some questions. And just I will bring up the second question first because I think it's a little more straightforward. She asks if it's too late to ask a presenter for something that could be printed and placed in one of his books. I learned after the symposium was over, I have several books written by one of the presenters. So, and Amanda suggested, just write and ask them. And so I think many of our WikiTree symposium presenters have WikiTree profiles. So if you find that person's profile, you can send them a private message. Carlo, who was it? Which I know Carla doesn't have a microphone. So if you can tell us in the chat which presenter, and then we'll see if we can find them. That would be a good exercise.
Yeah, I think, Thomas McAtee.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Okay. Murray, you wanna search Thomas?
I love Thomas.
Thomas McAtee?
Yeah. Yep.
Ginty.
Yeah. Asia actually, because we did a lot of connections during WikiTree Week, which was fun. And so during the symposium, she had a list of all the presenters and where you could search your connections to them.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be him.
You found him so fast.
Wow. He's been a member
McGinty
since
12.
2013.
So Carla, just go to McGinty 12,
Contribution.
and then you see next to his name on the right, there's a little green envelope icon. So that's how you would send him, that's how you get in touch with him.
Yeah. Don't mention that he's not active on WikiTree. Just ask him your question.
He made a contribution.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Long time ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
We don't shame around here. You can have one contribution, you can have a million. It's
That's great.
all
That's right.
part of the
He's been busy with other things, so understandably.
or he has
And-
friends who have helped him work on it, you know, like other people can build onto the tree.
That's true.
And your hand is up.
yeah. Denise, I just want to thank you for the Q&A for the newbies. That was a great whole week. You went for nothing to all the way, and that was very good. Thanks a lot. I enjoyed
Bless your
it.
heart. Thank you. I was not alone. That was Betsy and
Yes, I know,
Hillary.
Betsy. I know.
Okay. But
But
thank you. I appreciate it.
I was there in spirit.
Probably Murray was there too.
I had the word.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was really nice because we covered some ground that we don't usually cover.
Yes.
Important ideas and skills and yeah.
Oh, I must have missed something.
Well, they're still
forgetting.
all there. You go
I'm
back and
forgetting.
check them.
Yeah. The new Q&As they're out there on YouTube
Oh,
forever and
yes.
ever. They'll,
Oh,
they'll
are
be
they?
there.
I'll
Yeah.
see if I can get you the playlist link. Murray, this next one is for you. Carla says, my page doesn't look like yours. How do I
We're all
get my
jealous.
page to look like yours?
That's a good question. I'm not laughing at you, believe me.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the WikiTree browser extension button. Okay, I'm using the preview version as opposed to the stable version because I like to live dangerously and I write the documentation.
Mm-hmm.
So here's that, and then I'm going to type. Whoops. There we go. TYLE. So there's menu style and there's custom style. So what I want is custom style. So I'm going to go to the options here, and there I can set.
Oh,
There's my global background color,
Shit.
and there's the font that I use and the font family, and the input font family. So when I'm typing into an input field, I use Lucida Console as opposed to Verdana when I'm reading. And when I'm editing, I like my font size to be a little bit larger so that I can see what I'm doing.
oh.
And I like having the rounded corners. You can see the rounded corners on biography here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
like
that
that.
could
On
have
all
been
your boxes. Yeah.
That
Yeah, that could have
makes
been
me
square,
so
but
happy to see.
yeah. So then I can do stuff with my headings, increase the padding on the left, and set the background color. You can see the background color for my headings, and the text color I choose is a blue on the orange, and some padding and border radius.
Excuse
And
me,
then
what's
for the
padding?
What is
Sorry.
what is
it's
that?
a little bit of space.
Oh,
Any tiny bit of
Okay.
space.
Yeah.
So imagine you have a text, right? And you have a box around that text. And the
Mhm.
padding is how much space gets wider or smaller around that text. If it was like really tiny, it'd be really tight on top of it, but then you can create a larger buffer around it.
Oh, thank you.
See between the edge of the orange box and the B,
Yeah.
that's a little bit of padding.
Ah.
oh, okay.
Is it?
Okay. So
Thanks.
then I've got colors set for males and females differently. So there's the male color, blue. And then the gender neutral color. And then the background color for headers, footers, and profile tabs. And all of this. And then there's the active tab, text color. So that's when I'm talking about tabs, I'm talking about I would have to hide it. So I'll show you that later. And you can see this blue color being used here, right? And then for links,
Hmm.
so I have these two colors for my links. They're almost identical. Now, some people like to have the blue for a link that you've never followed, and purple
Oh,
for a link that you have followed.
Yep.
Mhm.
good idea.
I like to have them both be pretty close to each other because I don't want all these different colors jumping out at me in the text because it gets hard on the eyes. Yes, Stephen.
So my question is, if there's another color, say a red link, to a page that doesn't exist yet, does your blue color override it, or does it still display the red?
As far as I know, it still displays the red. You're talking about for categories that don't exist.
Generally, yeah, in Wiki, pages that don't exist yet, you haven't created them, and red links will, form, those will usually be categories you haven't made yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll notice here, I've removed the underline from links. I don't like that underline. I just think it's unnecessary. Now we don't have a lot of links on this page, so you're not really, oh, yeah. So see, no, that's not a link. Anyway, I'll come back to that. And then,
because they're not underlined.
Do that.
And then you've also got some options here about your colors in G to G. So that's where you can set that all up.
Wow. Okay.
And there's actually a page that I made about all that. And let me just go
I saw that page. Yeah.
find that. So I'm going to have to go to my, where is it?
Your free.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
And
personal category.
These are my personal categories, and then I wrote.
Beautiful.
Then I wrote a page for.
Is it custom style redesign?
No, this is the impact of topography on reading and cognition.
Yeah.
And so if you go
really
through here,
oh wow,
yeah, really nerding out. So I explain, how people read and how different people will perceive things differently. And a lot of us don't realize these things, right? Don't realize that we read things differently than other people. So you've got font selection and letter spacing and how to use them, and some accessibility options, and then how to choose a font and what they look like, and how to set up your in accessibility options. You can set up some vertical spacing and font sizes and stuff like that, and then your text and background colors, and how you what you need to know about choosing colors and how to choose colors, and what are sympathetic colors, etc. Okay. Because it can get hard. It can get really hard figuring this all out, and you have all these colors clashing. Heading colors, the link colors.
Wow.
Inline citations. So we're all familiar with seeing a citation link, but you can change how they look.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, make them look. See, look at this. There's 724. But I can also show it as have it sorted for you. Right. So even though you put it in wrong, it'll show it in the right order if you want that. Right. And then there's your WikiTree UI colors. And then see, here's where you make this is the current tab, the family one. All the other tabs are a slightly different color. Okay, so you use a highlight color. And then as you go down here, shows you what how to G to G. You can make your G to G look different.
Wolf.
And then
whoa.
So there's an example of Thomas Urquhart using the orange. And then we've got some color theme examples.
Shimmering crimson.
Wow.
So yeah, there was there it is. Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh, I forgot.
I find that page.
Everybody wants that page.
I just put the link in the chat.
Oh, did you?
5 Shades of Grey.
Everybody wants
You're
that
cute,
page.
man. You're so cute.
That's the advantage of having a technical writer, somebody that was a technical writer by profession.
Yeah.
This is where Murray shines.
Oh yes,
writing those instructions. Yes.
So much purple.
That's right.
So this
That's
is
Prince.
Wow.
Yeah, this is an actually
cute.
Appropriate colors.
This is an actual copyrighted color.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're allowed to display it though, right?
Yeah, we're allowed to display it.
Okay.
Oh. Wow.
There's pride flag colors, and anyway, so
Ooh.
there's lots of information in here. Here's examples of, of different fonts and different spacing
Yes,
Mhm.
I love
to
that.
show you how you'd see things.
Burning.
No.
Yeah, here's Open Dyslexic.
Mm.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah,
Where every
that
first letter is bolded of each word, right?
yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say something about that.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
This is
it's shaped differently.
yeah.
it's in the Comic Sans family is where the dyslexic fonts are. That's why
Well,
Comic Sans is a thing.
Comic Sans is one of the fonts that I use,
Yeah.
because I don't have Open Dyslexic on my on Safari.
Yeah.
So all the other browsers have Open Dyslexic, I guess, but I don't. So I had to get Ian actually did that for me.
Oh, nice. Good.
Give me that example. So anyway, so you've got all that, and you can read all about that. And yes, Stephen, I was geeking out entirely. I just had to. I
I
just
mean,
had to
I
do that.
appreciate it.
And Carla's saying, "Oh, my pages are so ugly and confusing." Oh, Carla, take hope.
Yeah.
Because that's the beauty of WikiTree is we can constantly be experimenting and updating and playing around with it. Your own profile page and even, also your ancestor pages can be an expression of, your design creativity. So yeah, Amanda said it was fun doing it when I played with mine. So
And going
just try it out, and if you don't like it, you try something else.
Yep.
And I was just gonna say, going back to the personal category, people don't know about these. We do come back to those from time to time, but I love demonstrating that the personal category is a great way of getting all your research into one place. Just using your WikiTree ID as the category name, and then it would go within category personal categories, so you could see
I wish
everybody
I did
else's as
that
well.
before.
Mhm.
And I have so many in mine. I have like 20 space pages alone. So
Please
Yeah.
show that again at some time, or tell me where the link is, because I can't understand that. Like, I don't know if you have to have your ID at the top in each link.
Yes. For it to be connected to your personal category, it's going to connect to your ID. That's going to be your top level category. And then all of your other subcategories are going to be under there.
That's
So
when you
for
type
example,
category, right? Oh, excuse me.
your personal,
Okay.
yeah, for your personal category, your WikiTree ID is going to be your top level category. Like Murray has Malone 2332. That's his top level category for his personal category. And then underneath those, he's got all of these other different things, hold requests and WBE custom style themes. Those all fall under that Malone 2332.
Okay.
So first
I'm
you
just
have to,
wondering, like, excuse me, if I go to, before I forget, if I go to a person profile, and then I want to add my personal category, do I have to put my ID in there? And I just want to take a copy of my personal categories that I already wrote.
you're creating those categories in advance.
Okay,
You're creating the categories first, and then you'll be adding the profiles to the categories that you've created.
that's what
So
I
like
don't.
maybe I
Steve and
can.
I have some for things that we have to do. Murray's got his sorted by whatever system he's got going on.
So
It's a sport.
I don't attach my personal profile to any people. I personally, I would find that to be imposing on those people. So I don't want to put my personal profile on any people. It's only on mine.
I think I'm using the wrong word then. It's not personal category I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah. So I use the personal categories on space pages that,
Oh,
and I think all of these are space pages that I created. And so so I showed you
Mhm.
the impact of topography one. Here's another one. This is the Siege of Quebec.
oh no.
And so I've, this is
Oh,
one
that's
that I created, and
beautiful.
I want to be able to find it, because I don't know about the rest of you, but when I first got on WikiTree, one of the hardest things I had was, how do I find the things that I know I just created a space page, and I spent
Yeah.
hours working on it, and I
Yeah.
saved it, and I went to sleep, and I came back, and
Yeah.
what the heck,
Yes.
what was it called, and how do I find it?
Yeah, me
Stephen.
too.
And
Thank
See, I
so,
went back to contributions.
Yeah.
and see, and I approach it differently. I have
Yeah.
maintenance categories that are built within mine because I have a
Yes.
lot of
Me too.
historic
Yeah.
profiles. You know, they're
Yeah.
deceased people that I want to keep track of, and I need to
Okay.
know if I'm adding parents or, you know, all right,
Yeah.
I'm at the bottom of my profile. So this is like, you know, way underneath my
Oh, okay.
comments and everything. I'm at the very bottom. All my beautiful categories all lined up with the things that describe me, and here is my personal category that attaches to me first. And from here, now I can go into all the things that I have worked on in the last 5 years. And, you know, some of these are space pages and some of these are to-do lists, one place studies, one name studies, other random stuff, and then a whole bunch of subcategories that are built within it. So I have my brick wall ancestors. I'm trying to identify, you know, the extents of my branches. How far out are they going? You know, and so I think it's okay to include it on those because again, they're historic profiles. A lot that I just don't have the cemetery category built for them yet. So like, you know, I'm forgetting that I need to add these cemeteries and that these all these people belong in that cemetery. So this is gonna, you know, hopefully advance it. But you can see that I'm not doing a great job. So there's 42 profiles there waiting to get their cemeteries added. You know, and then it needs profiles created, even breaks down further into okay, well, these people need all of their different people. These are the ones that need their children, so there's a lot of those. Especially if I'm doing one name studies, I'm trying to follow the pathways down. Parents and spouses, you know, so I'm going in those different directions. Um, you know, look, this is some random stuff. I wrote a page on the Great Frog Invasion of 1952 in Oconto, Wisconsin, because it was something that was just weirdly fascinating to me. And I thought, man, if there were some people that were in Oconto that night and they were being invaded by 175 million leopard frogs at the same time, I just, I would love to find some other, you know, individuals related to that
Yeah.
event. So it's like I just have strange, weird things on the side. Um, you know, and then yeah, a lot of German stuff and like my big old German page here, Landkreis Uelzen, Niedersachsen, which is where a lot of my people come from on my paternal side actually. So that's a very extensive, you know, page that could take an entire talk by itself.
So I'm interested in Amanda's question.
But yeah, yeah, to that
Amanda
point.
asks, she says that her free space pages are not showing up with her personal category. So all she would have to do is go to one free
Right.
space page and then categorize it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so
Yeah.
let me just find a small. Let me go back to Frog Invasion. So Frog Invasion should appear in a couple, and at the bottom is where my categories exist. So one of them is my personal category because I want to attach it to me. One is the category for the place, so Oconto, Wisconsin, and one is within a newer category I created just for this, Wisconsin historical events. I want to make sure I nested that within, you know, United States historical events, and then Wisconsin itself kind of branches out for the category tree. So in order for it to show up in your personal category, it should be categorized with your name. So category, colon, and then your WikiTree ID. And then you save it, and then it, you know, it will go into that personal category. It'll appear right there, and you can also control whether or not it appears alphabetical because you can use the pipe to change how it sorts within a category. I didn't know anybody knew that that was a feature. But like you can change the order of all of these. Like you know, if you have numbers that are like written out or something, and you want to put them in by their number, then they'll, you know, like 17. You just
Really?
throw a pipe in there, and then you type in the number 17.
Oy.
Sounds fantastic, but if you
Yeah.
could just slow down,
Oh, I'm
guys,
sorry.
just
Got
go to
excited.
like a name like Mary, whatever. Go to that person and then you stamp in the top where Betsy showed us, like you can go and then it ends up on that page where you were, Marie, with all the and Stephen. Like I want to put it in the list and I can't get it in the list.
Well, again, if you want to categorize any page, you
Can
just
you
have to.
just do one easy one?
Well,
Oh, okay.
yeah, Steve,
to a personal
she's
page.
asking, yeah, she's
Right, as
asking
an
how to
example of how
create,
to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
personal category.
Right.
So if you
Okay.
could just, yeah,
The
Yeah,
second
okay. So
step,
let me go
after
back
you've
to
got them done.
a page that has it on it. I'm just gonna here. Let's open up a county named Sauk. This is a book I was trying to transcribe and stuff. So if I go into edit mode on any page, whether it be a category or a profile or a space page,
Okay.
at the top should generally be where the categories go. And in order to make a category that doesn't exist, you still will type it out as it would appear. So you're going to have the two starting brackets that point to the right. You're going to have the word category. You're going to have the colon, and then immediately after that, you're going to have the name of the category, right? So that's going to work for any new category you're creating. But in this case, it's also, if you want to create your personal category, it's going to be that WikiTree ID. It's going to be your name, your last name, that dash, and then whatever that number is, right? And then you're going to complete it by doing those two brackets that point back to the left. This closes the category. And then when you get to the edit, assuming that it wasn't actually there, like, after you save the changes, it'll tell you at the bottom, a new query window will show up. This category doesn't exist.
Make a new one.
Would you like to continue to save anyway and create the category?
Yes, save anyway. I
Yeah,
remember
you're not
Betsy.
creating the category yet.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
So you haven't made the category yet, but you saved the change, so then it shows up at the bottom of the page. So let me just skip past all this. Sorry, I'm making people sick. So imagine this link in purple that I have is red. That means the category wasn't made yet. And then you would click on it, and then I'm just going to edit this to indicate what it would look like if you were creating it. So say there's nothing in it yet. I have this pretty basic. I just said this is the parent personal category for, and then I link the me. And then I make sure that this is also nested within personal categories, because this is where it's supposed to sit in the category tree, so other people can see it, and it's going to sit next to all the other personal categories, right? And then when I type that in and I save the page, it will produce a category that it may not have anything nested in it yet, but it might have that one page that you put it on to begin with. So, if it was your profile or if it was a space page you created, then that should show up in the list, right? Does that
So
help?
that's where you put the person's ID in under those two nesting. Is that where I'd put it? Or does it just after I save it, it's going to go, the person's ID going to go back to that list? And I'll have
again, it's your ID. It's got to be your ID because it's your personal category. It's not going to be anybody else's ID. So like everybody here on this, okay, so this is the master page for that personal categories.
Yes.
Whoever Bloom 789 is created their personal category because Bloom 789 is their WikiTree ID.
Oh, mine down there? Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, if you were on here, you'd be under Florida DC 11, right? So do you happen to have one?
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for. See that down there?
Yeah.
So here's Ann. Ann, can I click on you?
Go ahead.
It looks like I already have. It's already purple. And then Ann is doing an amazing job with all of these subcategories.
Wow.
And then there's, look at there's a little notables page, or maybe it's another subcategory. So I mean, everybody approaches it differently, and they're going to have different things that they're interested in. And there's going to be other profiles that are being categorized. Like this one has 265 people in it. You can also tell, like you can look at these as sort of a preview and see that the first number is like the number of subcategories. I think the second number is the number of people profiles, and the third number is the number of space pages that are in it. I think that's the order.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, so I can get an idea of like how complex it is and how much work has been done.
Can I have something?
Yeah, Ann, while you're here, this is your stuff.
Can I get rid of any of these? A lot of these I don't want anymore. How can I?
You would need to type in delete category as a template so that the bot can delete it.
Okay.
So it's going to be delete space category.
Right.
you'll want to make sure it's empty before the bot deletes it.
Okay.
And they'll ask you if there's stuff in it. Somebody will come to you and be like, we can't delete it because you got things in there.
No, I don't have anything in it.
Yeah.
Like-
So if you don't delete it out and you can't delete it yourself, although there is a button at the bottom here. Do you see this at the bottom?
Yeah.
It says batch categorize, delete, rename, copy, and rename.
Oh,
So there's a couple of things, and this is a shortcut to. I'm not going to actually delete your category, but if you want to do it, I think. Let me see here. Which is the one that you're interested in removing?
The one that doesn't have anything in it.
Anything
All
in
of them
it?
have, all of them have profiles in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
I don't want to go too far, but I believe this takes you down the pathway to getting the bot to respond. It'll ask you some questions about that process, and then it'll take like maybe a week to filter through everything, and then delete them as a batch.
Thank you.
Carla asked another really excellent question. Is it recommended to do a straight line tree with direct ancestors first, then flesh it out with brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, etc.? I really think that that's personal preference, the order in which you want to go. But I will say that do take the time eventually to add in those sidelines, because that's where some really fascinating connections can happen.
Mhm.
Excellent.
It's been amazing. Thank you, as usual.
Welcome. So we're at the hour. Any burning questions? I'm looking at
So I think Amanda did ask that her free space pages weren't listed on a personal category page. Yes, you do have to add that personal category to each one of those free space pages for them to show up in your personal category.
How do you
I
find the
just-
personal categories again, Stephen?
What's that?
How do you find the personal categories again?
Well,
I was
you're
listening and I
told-
was trying to find it, but I couldn't
Okay,
find
sorry.
it.
So then
they're
here,
under-
I'll just say it. So within personal categories, that was nested within maintenance categories.
Maintenance categories. Okay.
Yeah, and then that is also within categories. So the master category of all categories that is holy is categories, and you can't go any higher than that.
That's right.
So
had
just
to ask
maintenance
for
and then
advice.
personal. Yeah, that would be the fastest way to get to it.
Good question.
Oh, there they are. Oh boy, I didn't realize
You
I had
can
like
Google it. I found mine by
1,300
Googling it too.
was it?
And
I have
Kat,
1,033 subcategories.
I'm excited that you joined us for this, Kat.
I've been on here for 3 years and I've never joined one of these.
Well, it's never too late. So I mean,
Yeah,
we started
no,
3
I
years
did.
ago. Where were you?
Yeah, it's never too late.
I just jumped right in like I do with all my programs without help.
It's great.
And,
We're all welcome. So
Please
thank you.
come back. I mean, there's
will.
not, so any limitation on number of times you can come,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
Yeah, do categories self-populate? No. They're populated based on what you add to the category. So they don't self-populate. You have to add profiles or pages to that category in order for it to populate.
Yeah.
right. I think what we're trying to say is that you have to add that category code to every one of those pages for it to show up in the category. And that's the case of any category. It doesn't matter if it's maintenance, personal. It's just that's the way the categories work.
So they're pulled from profile. Here, let me share. Maybe if I I just happen to have a profile here that I've been working on. So for this person here, you see my categories are at the top because I prefer to see mine right off the bat.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Because I work a lot with categories. But so for example, for this guy, if I wanted to add another category, I could just click on this plus button. And because he's part of the U.S. Black Heritage Project, I could start typing U.S. Black.
I know. I love that.
and needs biography. I'm going to pick needs biography, although he already has one.
Oh,
Okay. And then it automatically populates that, but I'm going to go down to the edit biography. I could just click on save if I wanted to. Well, I'll do that. So you can see that it automatically creates that explanation so that I could immediately save it. But if there's something else I wanted to do in that profile, I could go up.
And there usually is. It's
Yeah.
never one thing.
Exactly, exactly. So there's a lot of categories that we have listed here. See, there's categories for occupations, categories for, in this case, here's one of my personal categories because I'm also dealing with churches. So I want to create a category for his church later on in life somewhere. I've got a task on my calendar to do that someday. So, but there's that you, whatever categories you have, and there, to my knowledge, Murray can probably confirm, but there's no limit to how many categories you can have.
No.
They
whoa.
do ask that you limit stickers, but to my knowledge, there's no limit on the categories. Is that right, Murray?
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, maybe there is, but I've never
Okay.
come across it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go to George Washington's profile and see how many categories he has.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
That's another
yeah,
option.
go to George.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Now the-
even then, there's still a limit. You're gonna run out of things to put them in,
Yeah, that's true. That's
But
true.
or you run out of
So-
space on the wiki.
I
Couple-
updated my dad's profile because he was an attorney, and I found a category for attorneys in North
course.
Dakota.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Oh,
Yep.
definitely.
You can be as specific as you want to be too. But I am actually trying to actively specify some of the categories, like, you know, break down the United States into, maybe we should actually have states for them individually because they're getting
Yeah.
a little fat. You know, they're
Yeah.
getting a little big.
Yep. I know.
So now, if you have the browser extension and or B, with the browser extension, you get this little stair step. It looks like an organizational chart. Well, I'm from the corporate world, so to me that looks like an organizational chart.
That's what it
But if you
looks
click on that, it gives you a box where, again, you can start typing. Let's see, I'm going to say North Carolina. So,
There's going to be a
and it
lot of
starts-
options.
Wow. Oh wow.
yeah,
That
It-
Oh, yeah. I know. I love
gives
that
you
part.
options based on
Type.
the letters you type in.
Yeah. And it's also
And I
searching
can
by
make
the
that
end, not
selection.
necessarily the beginning. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can make a selection there if I wanted to indicate his location. Another option, I mean, again, you can just type anything in there. If you're not sure whether or not it's a category, you can type it there. And if we have a category for it and it hasn't been like created in the past 30 seconds, it will probably show up in this list.
Yeah, I've been
Um,
noticing it does actually activate fairly quickly after I've made new categories, at least like within an hour. I've seen them
Yeah.
show up and I'm like, that was fast.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty quick to show up in this list.
Right.
And then there's also this categories box. So you can add any category, add a location category, add a cemetery
go.
category.
That's handy.
I go all the way down to auto.
Yeah, one name study, and then there's auto. Thank you, Ann, because I was getting there.
I know. I'm
if-
sorry. I love it.
That's all right. That's all right. If you've created a brand new profile, or even if you haven't, if you're doing a bio improvement on a profile, you can click that auto category, and the little tree will start shaking. Basically, what it's doing is it's reading all the text that's in that text box,
It's AI.
and it's looking for a possible category that matches to the information that's there. It's looking at locations. It's looking at cemeteries.
I already did
It's
it.
looking at just information that's in that
Wow.
text box, and
Love
it will add the category to the profile up at the top.
Now, it'll do
So-
that annoying thing where it adds the space in between the colon and the name of the category. It won't break anything, but it just boggles me formatting wise.
Okay.
It's a personal thing. I just don't like
Okay.
the space.
Fabulous.
And then, of course, you don't have to go all the way to the bottom, because if it's added a category, it's going to show up in that exchange box, and we can just click on save and say, "Ooh, am I good with full save? I think I am. What did I add? Yeah, I added needs biography. It won't hurt. I'll go back and look at that again. He's got a biography, but it can always use some improvement.
Needs
But
beautification.
yeah. So there's your categories. If they're Appalachian, some states it's kind of difficult when you're doing that auto bio. This was already there because I had done an auto bio previously. Had I known we'd be talking about this today, I would have left it alone. But it automatically added that he was Appalachian in that part of North Carolina that's
right.
Appalachian.
Allegheny County would fall under that in the Western North
Yeah.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are things that we're not thinking about actively. And then if someone like Sandy comes along who's researching Appalachia, now we have another profile to add to the mix.
Yep. All good. He's a coal miner. I added that one though. I just did that today, but there's some examples. And of course, my coloring isn't as fancy as Murray's.
I don't have any at all.
Right. And also everything is under category. Someone asked where you can get all the categories. There is a wiki page for categories, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's accessible through the top. If you go to the top of the page and you go to find, you drop down and there's categories that branches into either a couple of pre-selected ones, or you can click on it itself to get to that master categories tree, and everything branches off of that.
Yeah. Good.
So it is visible. It is easily findable if you just click on find.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So, and Amanda is correct. It'll pick up place names and cemeteries, not all of them. So it's always good to check.
Yeah, I
But
have to check on
I've
the
had a lot of success there, Amanda. I'm telling you, if it's out there, with
Otherwise,
these
you
latest
create the category.
enhancements, it's been batting 1,000.
Well, it's the proper way to use AI.
Yeah.
So able to find information that's already there. That's what it's about. It's identifying the info. And yeah, if I had, like I showed that cemetery category earlier, of all the people that don't have one made yet, I mean that's one way to keep track of it. But yeah, this will also be a way of identifying, like, hey, who doesn't have a cemetery category made yet?
Yeah. Stickers. We can talk about stickers in a future meeting, because that's
big
on the same.
That's-
That's a big topic, like categories, really.
So Carla, please come back. I think there was one point where I had a whole session prepared with content on stickers and backgrounds.
Yeah.
And something came up and it didn't happen. We went a different direction, but I still have everything bookmarked.
Yeah.
So we can look
Yeah.
at all of that. And,
Yeah. And don't forget, you can Google it. You can say WikiTree stickers, and it will bring up the space page that talks about stickers. So, and there's a lot of different stickers. There's
I've
a
only
lot of.
used like this amount of stickers because I have to go back through my profiles and put the Irish ones in, the Norwegian ones in,
Yeah.
the French ancestors.
Yep. I've been a member since 2020, and every profile I created back in 2020, I've had to go back and revisit several times.
Yep. Good exercise.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This has been to have a fantastic conversation. Thank you very much, everyone. Please come back often.